Okay, so I bought the S23 FE 5 months ago, and if you are an old subscriber, then you already know that I used to use S20 FE as my primary phone. It was a solid phone to say the least and was praised a lot by the tech community. But things are not the same with this phone, as there are concerns, and we'll talk about all of them, including what's actually good and ultimately if you should even buy this phone at 30,000. Hey guys, I am Kshitij. You are watching Once Upon a Techie, and this is the long-term review of the Samsung Galaxy S23 FE. Right off the bat, the phone looks and feels premium, just like Samsung's flagship S23 and S24 series. It ditches the plastic bag from the S21 FE and upgrades to a glass bag and has a matte metal frame. But at the same time, there are some cutbacks like Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and back instead of the more durable options. I've been using it with a case but without a tempered glass, and surprisingly, I haven't spotted a single scratch yet. But the bezels around the screen are very thick. It kind of makes the phone look a bit outdated and ugly. Now I'll straight away jump onto the battery life because most of the questions were about the battery or the heating issues. And there is no easy way to say it. The battery life is actually pretty bad. In my 5 months of use, the phone rarely lasted for a full day on a single charge. Maybe like 10 to 15 times, that's it. In my normal use, I got around 4 hours of screen on time on average, which is very low. You'll definitely be charging your phone twice if you are a very heavy user. Here are some of the screenshots of the battery stats, and instead of reading the screen on time, just see the figures at the top. And you can clearly see the phone never crossed 24 hours on a full single charge. Here's a screenshot when I used the phone too much. While the screen on time is very good, the phone only lasted for 13 hours on a full single charge. So basically half a day. The battery capacity is 4500 mAh, which is not that bad. So I think there are two reasons for such a poor battery life. The first problem is the always on display, and it seems like Samsung has not optimized it properly. I actually used the phone with the always on display off for a few days and the battery drain got instantly fixed. I know it's not the ideal way to get a better battery life, but it's the only way to get a full day battery because it consumes around 8 to 10% of battery, which is a lot. And the second one is the idle battery drain. In simple words, how much battery is getting drained when the phone is not in use. Now that's a bit difficult to track as you won't find this in the battery stats, but what I can tell you is there's a 10% battery drain every single night. So what I mean is, if the battery is at let's say 50% just before going to bed, then it's going to be 40% when I wake up in the morning. For comparison, Google Pixel 7 used to drop like 6 to 7%, which was already high, but 10% is absolutely insane. And I think this is because of the processor, that is Exynos 2200. They still need to catch up with Snapdragon and even Dimensity processors. They are both quite ahead. Samsung is selling the S23 FE with Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 in the US markets, so the story might be completely different there. Do let me know in the comments about the battery situation if you are using that version. The phone only supports 25 watts of wired charging, and also there is no charger in the box. It takes 30 minutes to charge from 0 to 50%, then it takes 15 minutes to reach 70%, then it takes another 25 minutes to reach 100%. So the total time it takes is 70 minutes, which is too slow as per current standards. So basically, poor battery life and slow charging speeds makes the worst situation possible, and I do believe Samsung should really look into it and give 50 watts minimum across all its phones. And yes, there is support for wireless charging as well as reverse wireless charging, so you can charge your earphones or another phone, which can come in handy sometimes. Now the second most asked question was about the heating, and to be honest, I was expecting there to be some kind of problems too, but surprisingly, I didn't encounter any heating issues whatsoever during regular use. And by regular use, I mean watching videos on YouTube, Netflix, or scrolling through Instagram Reels for an hour, and all other tasks like WhatsApp video calls, Zoom meetings, etc. And there was no unusual heating. Now, if you're going to shoot 4K videos for longer duration in summers, then it's definitely going to heat up, and it applies to every smartphone regardless of the processor inside. So you should not be concerned about the heating. So coming on to the display, no green line issue so far. But I want to ask you, if you're using the S23 FE and facing any problems, do comment down below. Okay, so the display is actually good. Typical Samsung display with bright, vibrant colors, good viewing angles, and there is also HDR10 support on Netflix and YouTube. It is also bright enough to use directly in the sun without any problems. Overall, a big thumbs up for the display. Definitely one of the best display in the price category. But if I have to nitpick, then I would say there is no DC dimming or PWM flicker option, which basically helps reduce the eye strain at low brightness levels. What makes watching content on the S23 even better is the sound quality. It supports Dolby Atmos, so sound through the dual stereo speakers and earphones are crisp and loud enough. In fact, I love the speakers on this phone. They sound very detailed, and I sometimes watch web series on the loudspeakers too. And there are ample settings to set the sound signature as per your preference, like equalizer, personalized sound profiles, and if you use wired earphones, then you can enable this feature which enhances the listening experience. But you obviously have to use a headphone jack connector, or you use USB-C earphones. The phone comes with an Exynos 2200 processor with 8GB of RAM and 3.1 UFS storage here in India. Well, I'll be honest, the performance on the S23 FE is simply mediocre. What I didn't like is the lag while switching between apps or opening a new app while some apps are running in the background. Most of the times it's minor, but sometimes it is too much. And considering this phone was selling for 55,000 at launch, it's not something that you want after spending that much. I tried playing games like Call of Duty and Asphalt, and it runs fine in the beginning, but after 15 to 20 minutes, there are frame drops. The games are playable though, but it's strictly for casual gaming. I have used multiple apps to benchmark the phone, basically to check how capable the phone is, and the results on those apps are decent, but it all comes down to the real life usage, and that's lacking here. And it clearly indicates that Samsung needs to work on their Exynos processors before putting them into their S series smartphones at least. Now coming on to the software, and I think this is where Samsung has really nailed it with the S23 FE. You get almost every feature that you get on their flagship S24 series phones. It's full of flagship features. All the ecosystem features you see here, and it even supports Samsung DeX and Samsung Wallet. Plus, all of the AI features that Samsung launched with the S24 series last year, they are almost all in it. So be it circle to search to know more about things you find interesting on the web, sketch to image to make something from scratch, or just to add something to an existing image. And it supports interpreter mode to be able to talk to someone who's in front of you speaking another language. And yeah, it supports the majority of popular languages that you might need, especially when you're traveling. And definitely you get all the other AI goodies, right? Like chat assist, note assist, browsing assist, call assist, transcript assist, and so on. And you also get full Good Luck app support for customizing your phone. And in terms of customizability, One UI is one of the best out there. It needs a separate video to discuss all the amazing features. There are small bugs though, like I just can't expand this widget for some reason. Sometimes Netflix doesn't show HDR10 support, but it can be fixed with a simple restart. Other than that, I didn't notice any bugs to be honest. It is currently on Android 14 with One UI 6.1, and Android 17 will be its last major update. And it will be getting the One UI 7 update soon. This has been confirmed by Samsung. And as you know, Samsung is quite proactive with providing the updates, so you get updates every month, which is necessary to keep the phone secure. Like the Samsung's One UI features, cameras are also really good on the S23 FE. And like the previous FE phones, there are 3 useful cameras at the back. A 50 megapixel main, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and an 8MP 3x optical zoom camera. And on the front, there is a 10 megapixel main camera, which is decent enough. And I'm actually kind of impressed with them. I have clicked so many photos with this phone on so many different occasions, whether it was on birthdays, friends' weddings, festivals, and the camera almost always produced amazing photos. Now, I said almost always because it tends to oversaturate like every other Samsung phone, which a lot of people actually prefer. But here's an example where it doesn't look good. There was yellowish orange light coming from the right side, but all the faces looked too orange due to oversaturation, which was not the case in reality. You can also see some noise in low light photos, but the cameras have good dynamic range and they are good for majority of the scenarios. I'm not a selfie guy, but I tried taking some photos and they came out decent-ish, though edge detection in portrait shots could use some work. The phone can record 8K videos at 24 FPS through main camera, and much more useful and practical 4K 60 FPS videos with its main, telephoto and front camera. And you can switch between all of them while recording a video. Now the starting price at the time of recording this video is 30,000 Indian rupees, and there are always some offers or discounts going on Amazon, so look out for them. I will leave all the Amazon affiliate links in the description below so you can check it out. Now the main question, should you buy the S23 FE? Well, I'd say skip this phone. Even though the phone has good cameras, gets monthly software updates, has premium build quality and a ton of AI features, Its poor battery life and mediocre performance make it really hard to recommend. You can go for OnePlus Nord 4, Moto H50 Pro, but if the pros outweighs the cons for you, maybe you really want Samsung software experience or reliable cameras, then it still might be worth considering. Anyway, if you still have any other questions, drop them down in the comment section and I'll try to answer them. And if you found this video helpful, do like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching Once Upon a Techie, and I'll see you in the next one.